Imran Khan. The fact that the media did not talk to him about the love of the Pakistani people. For the first time you see him. Part 2. Khan was offered political positions more than a few times during his cricketing career. In 1987, then President Mohammad Zia-ul-Haq offered him a political position in Pakistan Muslim League, which he declined. He was also invited by Nawaz Sharif to join his political party. In 1993, Khan was appointed as the ambassador for tourism in the caretaker government of Moin Qureshi and held the portfolio for 3 months until the government dissolved. On the 25th of April 1996, Khan founded a political party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. He ran for the seat of National Assembly of Pakistan in 1997 Pakistani general election as a candidate of PTI from 2 constituencies, Na 53, Mianwali, and Na 94, Lahore, but was unsuccessful and lost both the seats to candidates of PML. Khan supported General Pervez Musharraf's military coup in 1999, believing Musharraf would end corruption, clear out the political mafias. According to Khan, he was Musharraf's choice for prime minister in 2002 but turned down the offer. Khan participated in the October 2002 Pakistani general election that took place across 272 constituencies and was prepared to form a coalition if his party did not get a majority of the vote. He was elected from Mianwali. In the 2002 referendum, Khan supported military dictator General Musharraf, while all mainstream democratic parties declared that referendum as unconstitutional. He has also served as a part of the standing committees on Kashmir and public accounts. On the 6th of May 2005, Khan was mentioned in The New Yorker as being the most directly responsible for drawing attention in the Muslim world to the Newsweek story about the alleged desecration of the Quran in a U.S. military prison at the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base in Cuba. In June 2007, Khan faced political opponents in and outside the parliament. On the 2nd of October 2007, as part of the All-Parties Democratic Movement, Khan joined 85 other MPs to resign from parliament in protest of the presidential election scheduled for the 6th of October, which General Musharraf was contesting without resigning as army chief. On the 3rd of November 2007, Khan was put under house arrest after President Musharraf declared a state of emergency in Pakistan. Later, Khan escaped and went into hiding. He eventually came out of hiding on the 14th of November to join a student protest at the University of the Punjab. At the rally, Khan was captured by student activists from the Islami Jamiat-e-Talaba and roughly treated. He was arrested during the protest and was sent to the Dera Ghazi Khan jail in the Punjab province, where he spent a few days before being released. On the 30th of October 2011, Khan addressed more than 100,000 supporters in Lahore, challenging the policies of the government, calling that new change a tsunami against the ruling party. Another successful public gathering of hundreds of thousands of supporters was held in Karachi on the 25th of December 2011. Since then, Khan became a real threat to the ruling parties and a future political prospect in Pakistan. According to an International Republican Institute survey, Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf tops the list of popular parties in Pakistan both at the national and provincial level. On the 6th of October 2012, Khan joined a vehicle caravan of protesters from Islamabad to the village of Kotha in Pakistan's South Waziristan region against U.S. drone missile strikes. On the 23rd of March 2013, Khan introduced the Naya Pakistan resolution at the start of his election campaign. On the 29th of April, The Observer termed Khan and his party Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf as the main opposition to the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. Between 2011 and 2013, Khan and Nawaz Sharif began to engage each other in a bitter feud. The rivalry between the two leaders grew in late 2011 when Khan addressed his largest crowd at Minar-e-Pakistan in Lahore. From the 26th of April 2013, in the run-up to the elections, both the PMLN and the PTI started to criticize each other. On the 21st of April 2013, Khan launched his final public relations campaign for the 2013 elections from Lahore, where he addressed thousands of supporters at the mall. Khan announced that he would pull Pakistan out of the U.S., lead war on terror, and bring peace to the Pashtun tribal belt. He addressed different public meetings in various cities of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and other parts of country, where he announced that PTI will introduce a uniform education system in which the children of rich and poor would have equal opportunities. Khan ended his South Punjab campaign by addressing rallies in various Saraiki belt cities. Khan ended the campaign by addressing a rally of supporters in Islamabad via a video link while lying on a bed at a hospital in Lahore. The last survey before the elections by the Herald showed 24.98% of voters nationally planned to vote for his party, just a whisker behind former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's PMLN. On the 7th of May, just 4 days before the elections, Khan was rushed to Shaukat Khanum Hospital in Lahore after he tumbled from a forklift at the edge of a stage and fell headfirst to the ground. Pakistan's 2013 elections were held on the 11th of May 2013 throughout the country. The elections resulted in a clear majority of Pakistan Muslim League. Khan's PTI emerged as the second largest party by popular vote nationally, including in Karachi. Khan's party PTI won 30 directly elected parliamentary seats and became the third largest party in National Assembly behind Pakistan People's Party, which was second. Khan-led Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf became the opposition party in Punjab and Sindh. Khan became the parliamentary leader of his party. On the 31st of July 2013, Khan was issued a contempt of court notice for allegedly criticizing the superior judiciary and his use of the word shameful for the judiciary. The notice was discharged after Khan submitted before the Supreme Court that he criticized the lower judiciary for their actions during the May 2013 general election while those judicial officers were working as returning officers. Khan's party swooped the militancy-hit northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and formed the provincial government. PTI-led Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government presented a balanced, tax-free budget for the fiscal year 2013-14. During his provincial government, Khan was criticized for his support for Sami ul Haq, the father of the Taliban, and giving funds to his seminary, Darul Uloom Haqqaniya. Khan believed that terrorist activities by the Pakistani Taliban could be stopped through dialogue with them and even offered them to open an office in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He accused the United States of sabotaging peace efforts with the Pakistani Taliban by killing its leader Hakamullah Masud in a drone strike in 2013. He demanded the government to block NATO supply line in retaliation for the killing of the TTP leader. On the 13th of November 2013, Khan, being party leader, ordered Pervez Khattak to dismiss ministers of Qawmi Watan Party who were allegedly involved in corruption. Baqat Baydar and Ibrar Hussain Kamali of Qawmi Watan Party, ministers for manpower and industry and forest and environment respectively, were dismissed. Khan ordered Chief Minister Khyber Pakhtunkhwa to end the alliance with QWP. The chief minister also dismissed Minister for Communication and Works of PTI Yusuf Ayub Khan due to a fake degree. A year after elections, on the 11th of May 2014, Khan alleged that 2013 general elections were rigged in favor of the ruling PML. On the 14th of August 2014, Imran Khan led a rally of supporters from Lahore to Islamabad, demanding Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's resignation and investigation into alleged electoral fraud. On its way to the capital, Khan's convoy was attacked by stones from PML supporters in Gujranwala. However, there were no fatalities. Khan was reported to be attacked with guns which forced him to travel in a bulletproof vehicle. On the 15th of August, Khan-led protesters entered the capital and a few days later marched into the high-security red zone. On the 1st of September 2014, according to Al Jazeera, protesters attempted to storm Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's official residence, which prompted the outbreak of violence. 3 people died and more than 595 people were injured, including 115 police officers. Prior to the violence that resulted in deaths, Khan asked his followers to take law into their own hands. By September 2014, Khan had entered into a de facto alliance with Canadian-Pakistani cleric Muhammad Tahir ul-Qadri. Both have aimed to mobilize their supporters for regime change. Khan entered into an agreement with the Sharif administration to establish a 3-member high-powered judicial commission which would be formed under a presidential ordinance. The commission would make its final report public. If the commission finds a country-wide pattern of rigging proved, the Prime Minister would dissolve the national and provincial assemblies in terms of the Articles 58 and 112 of the Constitution, thereby meaning that the Premier would also appoint the caretaker set up in consultation with the leader of the opposition and fresh elections would be held. He also met Sid Mustafa Kamal when he was in the opposition. Imran Khan contested the general election from Na 35, Na 53, Na 95, Na 131, and Na 243. According to early, official results, Khan led the poll, although his opposition, mainly PMLN, alleged large-scale vote rigging and administrative malpractices. On the 27th of July, election officials declared that Khan's party had won 110 of the 269 seats, giving PTI a plurality in the National Assembly. At the conclusion of the count on the 28th of July, the Election Commission of Pakistan announced that the PTI had won a total of 116 of the 270 seats contested. Khan became the first person in the history of Pakistan general elections who contested and won in all 5 constituencies, surpassing Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who contested in 4 but won in 3 constituencies in 1970. In May 2018, Khan's party announced a 100-day agenda for a possible future government. The agenda included sweeping reforms in almost all areas of government, including creation of a new province in southern Punjab, fast-tracking of merger of federally administered tribal areas into Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, betterment of law and order situation in Karachi, and betterment of relations with Baloch political leaders. A number of opposition parties have alleged massive rigging in Khan's favor amid allegations of military interference in the general elections. Nawaz Sharif and his PMLN party, in particular, claimed that a conspiracy between the judiciary and military had influenced the election in favor of Khan and PTI. The Election Commission, however, rejected allegations of rigging, and Sharif and his PMLN later conceded victory to Khan, despite lingering reservations regarding the result. 2 days after the 2018 general elections were held, the chief observer of the European Union Election Observation Mission to Pakistan, Michael Galler, confirmed that the overall situation of the general election was satisfactory. During his victory speech, he laid out the policy outlines for his future government. Khan said his inspiration is to build Pakistan as a humanitarian state based on principles of the first Islamic state of Medina. He described that his future government will put the poor and commoners of the country first, and all policies will be geared towards elevating the standards of living of the lesser fortunate. He promised an investigation into rigging allegations. He said that he wanted a united Pakistan and would refrain from victimizing his political opponents. Everyone would be equal under the law. He promised a simple and less costly government, devoid of showy pompousness, in which the Prime Minister's house will be converted into an educational institute and governor houses will be used for public benefit. On foreign policy, he praised China and hoped to have better relations with Afghanistan, United States, and India. On Middle East, he said his government will strive to have a balanced relationship with Saudi Arabia and Iran. On the 6th of August 2018, PTI officially nominated him as the candidate for Prime Minister. Delivering a speech during his nomination, he said that he will present himself for public accountability for an hour every week, in which he will answer questions put forward by masses. After the election, Khan made some appointments and nominations for national and provincial level public office holders as the head of the winning party. Asad Umar was designated finance minister in the future government of Khan in the center. Khan nominated Imran Ismail for governor of Sindh, Mahmud Khan as future chief minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Shahri Mohammad Sarwar as governor of Punjab, Asad Kaiser as Speaker of the National Assembly of Pakistan, and Shah Farman as Governor of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. In Balochistan, his party decided to support Balochistan Awami Party, which nominated Jam Kamal Khan for Chief Minister and former Chief Minister Abdul Quddus Bizenjo for Speaker. His party nominated Pakistan Muslim League leader and former Deputy Prime Minister of Pakistan, Pervez Elahi, for the slot of Speaker of the Punjab Assembly. Abdul Razak Dawat was nominated to be the advisor to Prime Minister on Economic Affairs. Qasim Khan Suri was nominated for Deputy Speaker of National Assembly slot. Mushtaq Ahmed Ghani and Mahmood Jan were nominated as Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Assembly respectively. Dost Muhammad Mazari was nominated as Deputy Speaker for the Provincial Assembly of Punjab. Khan nominated Sardar Usman Buzdar for Chief Minister of Punjab. Announcing the nomination, Khan said that he chose Buzdar because he belongs to the most backward area of Punjab. According to some sources, Buzdar was nominated as a makeshift arrangement because it will be easier to remove a lesser-known individual when Shah Mahmud Qureshi is ready to become chief minister. On the 17th of August 2018, Khan secured 176 votes and became 22nd Prime Minister of Pakistan and took oath of office on the 18th of August 2018. Khan ordered top-level reshuffling in the country's bureaucracy, including the appointment of Sohail Mahmood as Foreign Secretary, Rizwan Ahmed as Maritime Secretary, and Naveed Kamran Baloch as Finance Secretary. His first major appointment in the Pakistan Army was that of Lieutenant General Asim Munir to the key slot of Director General of Inter-Services Intelligence. Khan announced his cabinet soon after taking oath, choosing to keep the Ministry of Interior to himself, though he later appointed Ijaz Ahmed Shah as Interior Minister. Many of his appointees were previously ministers during Musharraf era, although some were defectors from the left-wing People's Party. In 2019, Khan committed to a major cabinet reshuffle in the Ministries of Interior, Finance, Information and Planning. Khan stated that despite the assassination of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, Pakistan must prioritize good relations with Saudi Arabia due to an economic crisis. He also added that U.S. sanctions against Iran are affecting neighboring Pakistan, stating, "The last thing the Muslim world needs is another conflict. The Trump administration is moving towards that direction." Khan has prioritized close ties with China, saying he did not know much about concentration camps for China's Muslims. though Khan confirmed he had raised the matter privately in discussions with China. Khan was named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people of 2019. In domestic economic policy, Khan inherited a twin balance of payments and debt crisis with a large current account deficit and fiscal deficit in 2018. Khan's government sought a bailout from the IMF. In exchange for the bailout, Khan's government slashed subsidy spending in the energy sector and unveiled an austerity budget to curb the fiscal deficit and limit government borrowing. Also, the IMF demanded that the Pakistani government depreciate the rupee and improve tax collection. Khan's government decided to raise import tariffs to collect higher tax revenues and devalued the currency. This, alongside the heavy import duty, helped to curtail the current account deficit. Pakistan's overall balance of payments position improved significantly following record high remittances in 2020, which stabilized the central bank's foreign exchange reserves. The fiscal deficit narrowed to less than 1% of GDP by 2020 due to the government's austerity policies. Thus, the rate of debt accumulation had significantly slowed. But Pakistan's debt remained high due to the high borrowing of previous governments, in which the current government had to allocate $24 billion to pay off loans taken during the tenure of previous governments. Aside from IMF-mandated reforms, Khan's government introduced policies to improve the business operating climate. As a result, Pakistan climbed 28 places higher on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index. Pakistan ranked amongst the top 10 most improved countries in 2019. Pakistan's tax collection also hit record highs in 2019, as the government raised more revenue from domestic taxes with no increase in tax revenue from import taxes. This trend continued into 2020, albeit at a slower pace. The fiscal deficit was also controlled to less than 1% of GDP in the second half of 2020. Pakistan recorded a primary surplus, but was in deficit once the interest payment on debt was accounted for, albeit the deficit was smaller. Economists primarily pinned this reduction in the fiscal deficit on an increase in non-tax revenues rather than an increase in tax revenues. For example, from the higher prices consumers paid for oil from state-owned oil companies. Nevertheless, tax revenues also went on an upward trajectory, with Pakistan's tax agency both exceeding its tax collection target and collecting a record amount for the first quarter of the fiscal year 2021 and the calendar year 2020. In economic policy with respect to international trade, from January 2020, Khan's government implemented the second phase of the China-Pakistan Free Trade Agreement. These renegotiations with China led to concessionary rates by China on Pakistani exports of goods and services to mainland China, such as reduced tariffs or zero tariffs. The negotiations were termed a significant milestone in the country's foreign policy by expanding trade relations in a relationship traditionally dominated by defense and security matters. In June 2018, the Financial Action Task Force placed Pakistan on a grey list and demanded a series of actions be taken by Pakistan to remedy terror financing laws. Khan's government had initially used constitutional provisions of presidential power held by Arif Alvi to issue ordinances, and the country became compliant with 14 points on the FATF agenda. Subsequently, a series of bills were presented in Pakistan's parliament to ensure the legislation would permanently remain in place beyond a temporary presidential decree. Minor parts of the legislation passed both the lower house and upper house of Pakistan's parliament with the support of Khan's ruling coalition and part of the opposition parties too. However, the opposition-dominated Senate did not pass a significant portion of the FATF bills. Subsequently, Khan summoned a joint session of both upper and lower house of parliament in which the bills passed, given the government held a majority, and without the support of the opposition. By October 2020, Pakistan became successfully compliant on 21 out of 27 points on the FATF agenda, an increase from the 14 points in February 2020, with the remaining 6 points outstanding reviewed in February 2021. In FATF's February 2021 review, Khan's government had successfully implemented about 90% of the FATF agenda, with 24 out of 27 points largely addressed and the remaining 3 out of 27 points partially addressed. The FATF president remarked that as Pakistan was progressing with its action plan, so it is not the time to put a country on the blacklist. In FATF's June 2021 review, the Khan government implemented more progress. The FATF found that Pakistan has now largely addressed 26 out of the 27 action items. U.S. State Department spokesperson Ned Price praised Pakistan's progress, but encouraged Pakistan to tackle its remaining action items, saying, "We do recognize and we support Pakistan's continued efforts to satisfy those obligations." Pakistan has made significant progress on its first action plan with 26 of 27 action items largely addressed. We encourage Pakistan to continue working with the FATF and the international community to swiftly complete the remaining action item by demonstrating that terrorism financing, investigations, and prosecutions target senior leaders and commanders of undesignated groups, he said. On the 8th of April 2022, the Khan government made progress on its remaining action plan by sentencing Hafiz Saeed, a mastermind of the 2008 Mumbai attacks and an undesignated terrorist, to 31 years in prison. Soon, we will publish Part 3